It feels amazing. It feels amazing to be live. I'm staying inspired and I'm pushing forward. And what I want to speak to you about tonight is letting yourself evolve past people. Letting yourself grow past people. If you are in a healthy place, you won't be the same 6 months from now as you are today. But odds are most people will be the same exact way they are today 6 months from now. So in order for you to grow, you have to be willing to feel resistance of people saying, oh, I don't like that now you have different interests, or now you're doing something different. Because by you doing something different, by you not eating what you used to eat, by you not hanging out where you used to hang out, by you changing your lifestyle, it threatens their lifestyle. Because most people want to stay in their bubble. Not because they're evil, because they fear change. And their fear of change and seeing you change is a double threat. Because we know that life is constant movement, constant change. And we know that people struggle most with changing. It's the hardest thing for people to do, in my experience. So if you decide to change a lifestyle, if you decide to go from eating fast food to becoming a vegetarian, if you decide from going to a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house to a 1-bedroom studio apartment, if you decide to move to a different state, if you decide to change a job, if you decide to listen to different music, people are going to say, well, why are you doing that? I thought you liked something else. I thought you did this. You don't have to be that serious. You don't have to do that much different. Well, you used to always like this. Why don't you like this anymore? And so it's scary because it's separation anxiety. In order for you to grow, in order for you to evolve, you have to be willing to separate yourself and evolve past certain people and relationships. I guarantee you, people that watch my YouTube channel now and leave comments, they won't be around 6 months from now. Most people won't. Not because they're evil. Why? Because most people in your life won't be around on a consistent basis. You're lucky if you meet 1 or 2 people that stay the whole course of your entire lifetime. Maybe. And you have to accept that. If you don't accept that, you will dumb yourself down to someone else's level who refuses to grow. And you have to decide that. Are you willing to face that? Are you willing to evolve past people that you see every day? Are you willing to feel separation anxiety that we may not be cool 6 months from now? Because I want to keep growing and a lot of people don't? It's a tough call. And I understand why most people don't. But I have discovered that staying stagnant and not growing and not evolving past certain relationships only leads to you being just as miserable as them. And vice versa. Misery does love company. Expose it. Expose that. Say that. Misery loves company. And people who are growing and happy, they're willing to be alone. That's why there's a saying that there's only going to be a certain amount of people. Hey, it's Miss Kimberly. Hey, beautiful, checking in on the comments. How are you from Houston? There's only going to be a certain amount of people that are willing to be abnormal. Most people want to play to the masses. Meaning they want to play to people who constantly are going to stay the same. Because they know that's where the mass group is. That's where the average person is. Very few people want to speak to the parts unknown. Very few people want to speak to the be different. And not just be different because it's a cliche and it's a nice shirt you see in a shop. But be different because I want you to be better. If you are the same today as you 6 months from now, if you're the same 6 months from now than you are today, you're not growing. I'm not the same that I was 6 months ago. Damn sure not the same I was a year ago. Damn sure not the same I was 2 years ago. And as much as I love Miss Kimberly, I hope she's around for 60 years. I love Miss Kimberly's huge support system in my life. But you know what? I accept the fact if 6 months from now we grow apart, I accept that. I'm not going to dumb myself down, and I don't want her to dumb herself down. I don't want anyone to stay the same just to keep someone else comfortable. That's my point. And most people do. That's why you got to be very careful with popular people. Because popular people are playing to the masses. The masses are staying stuck. They're not going to change. Most people, they grow up a certain way, they eat a certain thing, they do a certain thing, they hang out with a certain people, they get certain stuff passed from generation to generation, and they stay the same. They don't want to evolve past certain things. It's too painful. I understand, I have compassion, but I have to go forward. And I have to expose that for anyone else who wants to go forward with their life. The good thing is, if you don't go forward, it's painful to go forward, but the good thing is if you don't, it's more painful. Why is that good? Because then you say, you know what, fuck it, I might as well go forward. Because I know what staying the same looks like. I know what it does. I tried it. And I see people who still do it. Everything you do in life has to be willing to let people go that aren't able to accept you evolving. If not, you will dumb yourself down, and that's dangerous. I remember a Jay-Z song, and I love Jay-Z. I think he did a lot for culture and a lot for rap, and et cetera, et cetera. But I remember he had a song, he said, I dumbed down to double my dollars. He dumbed his lyrics down because he played to the masses in order to get a certain amount of money. And many people do that. In every genre, rock, nomad channels, politics, everything. People dumb themselves down. They don't go to the place of potential, of above their potential, of above their intelligence. They go to a place that they can just speak to the masses and give them the red meat they want for their own personal gain, but for the manipulation of the people. I'm not responsible for anyone else. That's another thing I want to set you free. You're not responsible for anybody else. Like, I love you so much. I always say it. So anybody who is a consistent follower, I want you to be totally free. You want to join, you want to watch. I love that. I appreciate that. You guys are a blessing to me. But I want you to be totally free to do whatever you need to do for yourself. I was talking to Moon Dancer, who was commenting on one of my things. I said, look, I want you to do you. I want everyone to live free without obligation, to be a better person. I don't want to hold you on. Watch the next one so you see what I do next. What the hell kind of shit is that? Am I giving you a sitcom? This is real life for me. Some people are giving you a sitcom. But the problem with a sitcom is, here's the problem. The sitcoms end. The Jerry Seinfelds, the Nomad channels, every movie comes to an end. Do you want to be sitting there with a bag of popcorn, eating too much butter and a sugary drink, and the lights come on in a movie theater and you just got fucked for $20? And you got to go back to your reality for the rest of your life. You escaped for 20 minutes and you saw some shit, but you got to deal now 20 years with the life you've created. Because the people who sold you this production, they're living in a palace. Because they sold their product to the masses. And they're willing for the masses to be the sheep. I'm telling you something, step out of that. Everybody's not meant to step out of it. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not trying to speak there. I'm just trying to speak to anyone who feels the same thing I feel. Self-liberation, self-growth, self-improvement, self-care, pushing forward. Powerful. And I see you, it's Miss Kimberly. I'm going to read some of It's Miss Kimberly's comments. I appreciate Miss Kimberly. She gave a couple hand claps. Thank you. It's Miss Kimberly says, I was talking to my friend about this yesterday. I know people who haven't changed in years. Now, It's Miss Kimberly is about 33 from my understanding. I'm 37. When you get in your late 20s and definitely early 30s, that shift has taken place. The shift from immaturity to maturity as you enter your middle ages. Does age determine wisdom? No. Plenty of people I know, old people, have not evolved past certain relationships. They're staying in those relationships. And anyone who speaks of self-awareness is a threat to them. Turn off the channel. put on the Pander channel, because we're going on a Pander ride. Okay? You have to let go and evolve and grow. Certain people aren't willing to do it. As Miss Kimberly also said, Lupe Fiasco, also a rap artist, has a song called Dumb Down. I'm not surprised. He's one of those enlightened cats. Nas, one of my favorite rappers. Nas, Dumb Down on Hate Me Now. I actually like that song, though, when he was rocking the shiny suits with Diddy. And I'm not against that. Again, I understand that, and I like that song. But I can't speak to any of them. I can only speak for myself, and I know this is a real thing that you face. I'm trying to give some things that I've heard in my life so you can have some comparison. That's a real thing. People speak on it. You know, popular people, they say it. They play to the masses. They dumb themselves down because they know the masses, they're speaking down to the masses when they do. What they're saying is these people are never, the majority of people are never going to change. And a big reason they're never going to change is because change means letting go. Because life is a river, and the only way to keep going forward is to let go of shit. Let go of relationships that aren't supporting you evolving. I got in a huge fight with my mother when I stopped eating fast and fried food. It wasn't because she didn't love me. She loves me. And she's been a blessing to my life. But she couldn't understand it. And I had to be willing. I said, look, Ma, I got to go forward. I can't live like this anymore. Got in a big fight with my father when I downsized my life. I said, look, I don't want to, I want to live a simple life, downside life. He couldn't understand it. He's living in a museum, and he's got so much anxiety taking care of all his shit, and he don't understand. I don't want to live like that. I got, when I separated my friends from early 20s, they couldn't understand. One is they couldn't understand why I was working a lot in early 20s when they were in the clubs. And then two is, they just, then when I went into the church game, when I wanted to start having better morals and principles and guidance, a lot of my friends couldn't understand. They thought it was a phase. They thought, it's a phase you going to church. Are you sick? What's wrong? And I never looked back. I evolved past those relationships. Am I better than them? No. But I'm growing to be who I want to be, to evolve, to grow, not to stay the same. I don't want to talk about the same shit. I don't want to be Al Bundy. I don't want to be talking about I scored 3 touchdowns in my high school football game. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk about my window covers for 20 episodes. I don't want to talk about my piss jug 20 times. I don't want to talk about the same shit. I want to grow. I want to evolve. And I know not too many people do that. And that's why I say I'm willing for the subscription to go to 0. Because I work for a living, I do it, and that's what it is. And that's the only way to grow. And that's why people aren't willing to do that. And that's why Pander game. Get my little cat. You see my cat? We're going this way. I mean, it's bullshit. I know it's entertaining and it's no disrespect, but it is a little bit like, yo, come on. I don't want to be that. It's Miss Kimberly. 3 laugh out louds emojis. It's Miss Kimberly. Just so you know, I didn't get this live notification. I just happened to be on YouTube. Well, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for letting me know. It's Miss Kimberly. Thank you for everything. It's Miss Kimberly says, hell no, explanation. It's Miss Kimberly. Change is hard for some people. Everybody is hard for everybody. I totally agree with that. Especially if it's a relationship. Definitely a relationship. And that's why we're talking about evolving, allowing yourself. Let yourself evolve past certain people. I tell my friends that change comes when you get tired of doing the same. Sometimes change comes when you get tired of doing the same. Sometimes it comes through pain. And here's the key thing. For many people, change never happens. So be proactive. Be proactive. And I just want you to know you're going to face this reality at some point in your journey. And people that really love you, that are meant to be in your life, they're okay with you evolving past different interests that you guys once shared. And you may still stay long-term friends or long-term family members or whatever. So I still have a great relationship with my mom, etc. So I'm not saying that I don't with all my family members. I don't with all my friends that I once had. So I just want you to know, anyone who's interested, if no one's interested, that's fine. I just want you to know that at some point you're going to feel pain, that if you change who you are, certain people aren't going to understand and accept that. And I want to let you know that's the only way to go forward. I understand most people don't go forward. They go in circles. And sometimes even me go in circles. I mean, it's not that we constantly go forward and we never fall. We all fall. I fall. But long term, we want to get back up. We want to try again. We want to evolve. And we're willing not to be the masses. We're willing to have 0 people, be part of the group. For our growth, for our health, for our well-being. It matters. Sometimes, I get like, does it matter? Does it matter? And I thank God for a guy, Ultimate Warrior, was once a WWF wrestler. And later on in his journey, he became a motivational speaker. And he's one of the first people I started watching on YouTube. I was looking up his old wrestling matches, and then I found out he was a motivational speaker, and he changed my life. He helped ignite a fire in me to get my health in order, to get my life in order, just another level. I was already getting there, but he sparked me to go to another level. And he's passed away since. But his words still ring true to me. And so one thing that he always used to say is it does matter. You're going to ask yourself that sometimes. Does it matter? And I want you to know it does matter. Everything. Every critical thought you have, every yearning in your spirit to grow and to be better, it all matters. And thinking it doesn't matter will always keep you going backwards. And it will always keep you only inspired if 1 million people subscribe to your life, if 1 million people like your shit, if in whatever parable you want to use, a YouTube platform, a real life platform. This is all a reflection of real life, this mindset. Doesn't, apply it anywhere. Many people, they have their Instagram profile public one day and it's private the next. Public, private, public, private, public, private. Why? I once was like that a little bit myself, so it's no judgment, but they haven't decided that they want to go forward. And they haven't healed, and they haven't took the time to put in all the work. I've been there. So again, you have to go through that. You shouldn't look down upon yourself for going through that season, but what I'm trying to tell you is heal, grow, and evolve. Everything else is misery. Everything else is misery. It's Miss Kimberly, a fellow Nomad channels, and they talk about the same things, or it doesn't seem realistic. Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, it's a form of entertainment. I understand it, and I watch some of it, so I don't want to be a hypocrite, but enough is enough sometimes for me too. And I go on strike a little bit, and I discipline my mind not to watch some of the garbage. And I don't like some of the things I see. Does it mean that they can't inspire you at all? Of course not. Some of them have inspired me, and some of them still do. But I think for myself. And I'm willing to say I disagree with this, and I'm willing to be different. And I'm willing to be alone on that journey. I'm willing to evolve past that mindset of dinky, don't, freecamping.net, masturbate. I mean, it's just like, it's the same shit. For me, not for some people. I'm just speaking from my perspective. I'm expressing myself. Part of this platform is self-expression for me, for my self-growth, for one of the platforms that pushes me forward. I often tell people, some people, come at me with so many different type of sideways comments. I'm like, bro, girl, whatever. Go start your own YouTube channel and define your own life then. I mean, if my self-expression is not in line with you, then there's anybody in there, and I want you to. I always encourage people. All you have to do is be a creator and hit record and then upload. And then be willing to be, face criticism. If not, I mean, listen, damn sure I'm not going to change. I'm growing to who I want to be. I damn sure ain't going to tap dance. I mean, I'm way past tap dancing. I mean, you must not really know me. I mean, I'm not tap dancing. Okay. And so you better get, somebody else for that. It's Miss Kimberly. And I appreciate It's Miss Kimberly. It's Miss Kimberly says, what do you think about the people who struggle during this nomad journey, but don't express the struggle when they make these nomad videos? I think they're pandering for strictly the masses. Some do, I'm sure they do. But like I say, I mean, most people should not live out of their car. Can you live out of your car? Yes, I think anyone can if you want to and if you do it responsibly. So it's all a matter of, and then you're, even like me, like in the beginning, you're going to fail. I mean, it's going to be hard. It's like anything new. Starting a new job, first couple months are tricky because you have to develop experience and habits and routines. So if you love something, you'll push past that initial phase. But if you don't love something, just like we talked about opening a business, you won't push past it. You'll go right back to apartment. But is that bad if you try something and it doesn't work out and you go back? No. You shouldn't feel ashamed of yourself. My man, M. West, I think it was, commented on a video today. He's from NYC. He's getting ready to live out of his car to try to pay off some debt. I said, look, do it legally, do it responsibly, give it a shot. You're going to have ups and downs. But you know what I mean? It is, I support anyone who responsibly wants to try something new. And that's part of evolution. That's part of growing. And that's a healthy, good thing. What's not healthy and good is just solely living through other people and solely being comfortable with relationships that don't put a demand on your inspiration. I demand from whatever I watch that it keeps me inspired. And if it doesn't, I don't sit there and try to tell them what they should do. I then get my own inspiration, whether it's through another source and ultimately it's always through me. My inspiration can only be sparked by something else, but the harnessing that power and developing it is my responsibility. Harnessing your inspiration is your responsibility. And once you harness that, other people aren't going to recognize you because you grow. And then you have to be willing to say, look, if you want to keep growing with me, let's do it, because I love positive people. And positive people are a blessing and an encouragement. I often say that to you guys. But if they don't, God bless. I'm going forward. I am not going to dumb myself down. I am not going to not evolve because I want to keep people in my life, because I want to keep mass followers. I don't play that game. I've never played that game. Even when social media was first starting, like I see people doing the tap dance, doing everything super filter up just to get, and super hashtag up and super this, just to get followers. I use social media, I use the internet for self-expression, for growth, and for overflow of inspiration. Not for any other, if everything else is cherry on the cake. That's not the core reason for me. And people who know me in real life, they know me since MySpace and they know exactly what I mean. And people that don't, it's whatever, because they won't be around 6 months from now. You understand what I'm saying? That's part of life. It's Miss Kimberly. I follow someone who isn't afraid to show her struggle, but gets a lot of negativity. Well, she has to be her and you have to be you. It's Miss Kimberly gave a 3 feet emoji. I mean, it's Miss Kimberly, you're a leader. Okay? So I want you to know that as a leader, you've heard the expression, it's lonely at the top. Does that mean you have to be a millionaire? No. That means if you're a leader, if you're not going to follow the crowd, if you're going to lead your own life, you're going to be lonely at times. Period. Because part of being a leader means that there's no one in front of you to follow. You're leading your own path. And you evolve past certain people that, maybe at one time you were following. And anyone who is leading you and you're following them, it should be so that you can eventually fly on your own. Or at minimum, walk beside, but you have to define your own path. Hey, Philip, love and respect, brother. Love and respect. Hello to you. Positive people like it's Miss Kimberly, like Philip, like so many other, Milano, so many great people that I've met. Love to you, brother. I do express thanksgiving and love and sincere thanks. But I also express that at some point in the journey, if for you to grow, you have to go a different way, I want you to have freedom. I don't want you to stay around here. I don't want you to stay around someone else. And I don't want to stay around anyone who is only going to like me or like you if you stay the same. You know, I remember one time watching Judge Judy. And the husband said to the wife, after they'd been married for like 15 years, well, when we first got married, honey, you used to like to watch porn and do wild sex and this and this and that. And the wife was basically like, look, we still have sex, but, you know, I don't like to do, like, go to strip clubs anymore and things like that because I've grown past that stage in my life. I've evolved. And when I was a child, I did childish things, and when I'm mature, I put away childish things. Now, is one right or wrong? No, I mean, but that person, that wife or that whoever has the right to evolve. And if certain people can't accept it, you divorce yourself from that situation. Is it hard? Hell yeah, it's hard. It's hard to be alone, but it's lonely at the top. Do you want to be at the bottom? Let me tell you what's at the bottom. Misery and backwash. Okay? That's what's at the bottom of the bottle. Backwash. And many smart, intelligent people know that. And so they play to the crowd. They pander to the masses to keep them on the hook. Because everything is a publicity stunt for many people. It's sad, but it's a shame. And it's understandable. And that's why I always preach too, live simply, live below your means. Don't live poor, because when you live cheap and poor and you don't work, I always preach work and make your own living until you can do something else. Why? Because then you have to play the pander game. And then you're on the hook to these people. Because you have no real shot at actually, you know, if you quit your job and you go live for $600 a month in the desert, do you have a shot to really be free? Or are you going to be sucking their, you know, their balls for the rest of their life? Because what the hell are you're going to be able to live in regular society for $600 a month? You can't even pay health insurance for that. Hell no. That's why I don't say that. I say, keep working, live below your means, simplify your life, and gain financial independence so that you can evolve past people that want to control you. You shouldn't be talked down to like the only life is for you is if you want to live dirt cheap. I mean, if you want to, then I'm not, but that shouldn't be like, you know, that's the best you can do in life. It's very sad. Very sad. Oh, JPM Lawn Care on the check-in from South Carolina. I drove through South Carolina. I did not stop at south of the border. Quick side note, a friend of mine actually called, or I called him. We were talking because he just bought a condo or a townhome in South Carolina. And we were chopping it up. Actually, when I was driving on I-95, he said, Sam, you know, is a good guy. One of the friends that actually have stood the duration. Not one of the people that I've evolved past, but one of the few that has been with me on the journey and allows me to grow and I allow him to grow. That's key. If you're in a friendship, relationship, lovership, doesn't matter, and both people don't encourage each other to grow, you're in the wrong relationship. If you don't want to eat meat 6 months from now, and people get mad at you, oh, you used to always like this meat, why don't you eat it? Fuck you, because I'm evolving and I'm growing. Maybe once in a while I'll backslide in a parking lot of a Popeye's chicken, but damn it, I want to be a vegetarian. I want better for my life. I don't want to be sitting next to you, you know, in a fucking waiting room, trying to get a doctor to prescribe me some bullshit I shouldn't be taking. I want to evolve. I want to grow. I want to be healthy. This is the mindset I'm telling you. And it's not the mass mindset. So you have to be willing to be alone at certain points in the journey. That's why you need your spiritual life. What do I preach? Mind, body, soul. I don't preach give me donations, let me teach you how to live. What I preach is build yourself up. Because just like Jesus, you're going to have to be alone. Peter's going to backstab the shit out of you. You know, you're going to get taken by the Roman Empire. And your right-hand man, Peter, who they say is the first pope, that's the guy who gave Jesus, who said, I don't know that guy. because he didn't want to be crucified. And all his other disciples stepped away from him. The only thing that kept Jesus pushing forward to his destiny was he was so built up inside, he was willing to evolve past all those people to his destiny. Whew. Man, powerful. It's powerful. JPM Lawn Care and check in. Respect and love to JPM Lawn Care. And it's Miss Kimberly says, hey JPM, Philip gives loves to both with the heart emoji. Respect to that. It's Miss Kimberly says, sex always changes with time and age. Yeah, it does. It does. Now, some people real sexual real late in life. Some people don't. But, you can only connect with people that you vibe similarly with. So, and you can't be driven by that. So it's definitely true. Age changes everything. Your body deteriorates. I see people, I'm in Florida. I see it everywhere. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in Florida. I see people, 70 years old riding bikes. They can barely pedal a bike. I mean, time changes. You have to seize the moment. Should you rush? You should not rush. But you damn sure better seize the moment. There's a big difference. JPM Lawn Care. Growth and change are good. Growth and change are not only good, and that they're needed. It's the only way to be good. Without growth and change, no good. But growth and change means there's certain relationships that you won't have 6 months from now. Are you willing to accept that? Not easy. It's not easy being alone. That's why people overcompensate with pets. They overcompensate with unhealthy relationships. They overcompensate with other unhealthy things. Very hard to be alone. But there's other positive people. And you're seeing it connected in here. You see once in a while the 10% assholes, but you see 90% good. But you're also going to see 6 months from now, 90% of people won't be in the chat room that are the same. They'll be different. And that's okay. That's healthy. You evolve past people. I want you to have that freedom. I want you to know that on your journey, even if we never speak again. Because without that, you're controlled. And you're working under obligation rather than freedom. The ability to be yourself is moving in complete freedom, without fear, without control. Self-control, but without control from others. This is part of evolution. This is part of growth. Okay? Philip, damn straight. Gotta evolve. You have to. To survive, you must evolve. And to thrive, you must evolve. People get mad if you change. Hell yeah, they get mad. Tupac said, I ain't mad at you. Whatever it takes to change. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes. Philip, don't need negative people in your life. You don't. But that's the masses. The masses they may not always be negative, but the masses are going to be the same. The masses, most people you know, will be in the same exact position they are now, 6 months from now. And if you stay around that mindset, you will also be. Where were you 6 months? We're getting ready to approach New Year's. There's going to be the whole hoopla of what's your goals for 2018. The guy in the sermon says 2018 is the year of prosperity. And, it goes on this endless cycle of all the gym memberships and all that bullshit that everybody knows. And everybody gets worked up. But tomorrow, what will you do? Tomorrow, will you start your new goals? Will you wait until after Christmas, until all the damn sugary cookies are eaten before you decide to change your life? Will you wait before that? I want the spicy ham. I want the pasta. I want to sit with everyone else. I want to get drunk for New Year's. And then January 2nd, I want to change my life. The masses will do that. If you want to evolve past the masses, you're not better than the masses even when you evolve. You're not better than anyone. That's not what this is about. I don't believe in that. I believe, though, in self-growth. And I have to speak directly to that issue. That's what it takes, that mindset. And that's an evolving mindset. That's a free-flowing, uninhibited mind for self-growth. It's Miss Kimberly says, new year, new me. Well, you better start today. I love you. I know you're just joking. I see the left side. JPM Lawn Care. I am not alone, but haven't been in a relationship in years. I have never been happier. JPM Lawn Care gives a great testimony. JPM Lawn Care, I believe, has 3 sons. Singleness is a blessing from the Lord. Is there a time of loneliness? Hell yeah. Is it better than the burden of a relationship? In my opinion, yes. For everyone, no. I know some people that if they're single, they'll destroy themselves. They'll drink to death. Some people need a relationship. Some people are probably better off having a pet than a relationship. Some people still need a relationship. And some people should stay single. Some people should deal with moments of loneliness and know themselves enough to know I'm not for a relationship. I'm not going to tell you if you're that person or not. You have to define your life. You have to discover yourself. Knowing yourself is the part of every key decision for happiness. When you don't know yourself, you will make decisions that won't lead you to happiness. And that's okay too. It's okay to not always make the right decision. I haven't. Give yourself that freedom. But then, once you realize, well, this shit is showing for me, allow yourself to evolve past it. Be willing to evolve past it. That's wisdom. That's grace. That's pushing forward. Don't let the nighttime and these anxieties of trying to figure out your life keep you drowning in anxiety and fear. Evolution is this free-flowing mind that I am in the moment. The nighttime doesn't make me. Right now I'm in the fucking middle of, you know what? Look, let me tell you something. I'm in the middle of a park, okay? And there's fucking nobody out here, all right? Whatever can happen. I mean, you have to have this mindset of, I'm going forward. Oh, look at that. That's right. You have to go forward. You have to go forward. All right? You have to laugh a little bit, too. It's all right. I'm getting a little serious. That's all right. JP, I am the one that should stay single for sure. Amen. Me too. I made a video. I didn't post it. I want to be too on the way down here. I said, I'm damn sure I'm traveling. I'm happy I'm traveling alone. Now, I like to connect with people. I like to connect. I respect my mother. I love to connect with my mother. Again, it's all in context. But on average, for a relationship, I know I don't want one. It's work. I want less work as possible. But some people, again, they should be in a relationship. But JP, I'm glad you are knowing yourself better. I'm glad you're willing to deal with some loneliness, because I know there's still loneliness. And I'm also give you the freedom to evolve your mind and whatever you want to do as you go forward. I don't want anyone to stay trapped in a certain mindset. But I'm thankful for your self-expression. I'm thankful for anyone who's brave enough to leave a comment, a positive comment, and to express their life, because self-expression is a part of growth. That defines your life. Philip, I'm sort of introverted, so being alone doesn't bug me that much. Sometimes it does, but more often than not, I'm good. Not to say I don't enjoy other people's company, but alone time means I can think. Well, I agree with that. And again, everything in context. I believe you should have connections with people. I believe you should have positive, healthy relationships. I do. And I give you the freedom that if tomorrow you say, well, you know what, I do want to be in a relationship, you do that. Do whatever you want. Evolve your mind. I don't like to give people restrictions. I like to give people, I speak from my place of my inner being. I like to give people exactly what I do for my own life and what I believe has helped me grow. Am I perfect? No. Should you try to be totally like me? No, be yourself, but I'm just sharing. This is what I feel. And this is what I've experienced, and this is how I approach things. And you just need to know that I have seen so many people not be willing to grow past a certain season of their life. And I don't judge them when I say that. I say that as an observer. And I've seen the hurt it's brought them. And I want to help. I want to do something that I could, help. But you get to a certain point in your life when you've been through enough that you realize you really can't help anyone who doesn't want to evolve past certain things. There's times in your life where God will call you to sit with others, to show compassion, and to just have a spirit of grace on them. I believe in that. I do that. But what I'm sharing with you now in our intimate time, I enjoy this time. What I'm sharing with you now is for your own self. Not for looking out on others and saying this is how you treat. For your own self. For your own growth, you have to realize you move past that. You're no longer there. And you can sit with someone who is still there, but you can't stay there. You understand what I'm telling you? And that's going to take all of you. It's going to take all of you. I know this world. I know how painful this world can be. I mean, I'm blessed, but I've been through and I know what this world is. And that's why I have to preach that mind, body, and soul. What that is you building up yourself to endure what you need to endure. And evolving past relationships, it takes a huge blow out of you. If you have insecurities, if you have fear, if you have, debt and you're not living financially free, if you have all these different things that can hurt you, if you're on healthy food habits, you're not going to be in a place where you can endure that blow. Because I'm not lying to you, that's a blow. To evolve past certain people, damn, that hurts. And if you don't know that hurts, maybe you didn't do it yet. Because I don't lie to you guys. There's some pain involved there. There's that separation anxiety. And if you're not fully in your right place, you'll get seduced right back to being the same. You'll dumb yourself down. And you won't grow. And you won't go forward. You'll think, well, that's okay if I don't really grow. I'll be happy here. But you won't. I wasn't. You won't be happy there. There's something inside us that is only alive when we grow. And that when we're feeding our spirit healthy stuff, and I'm talking out in every form. Spiritually, I'm talking. Physically, I'm talking. Mentally, I'm talking feeding yourself well. Talking to yourself well. Doing positive, productive things. Keeping a healthy sleep cycle. All these things are part of building your being while you have this time on your earth. Our time for all of us, no matter how well we do, it's limited. So the best way I'm a believer in try to get the most out of your life, try to live the best quality life, have fun, laugh, joy, all that stuff. But I laugh, I have great times of laughter, I have great times of passion, I have great times of compassion, and I'm able to keep my mind evolving and not stuck in sadness because I'm built up enough. But you better believe that I feel the clutches of sadness and anxiety and fear. I feel them. But I'm built up enough to let them go. And that's what you have to do. You have to let go and evolve past certain things. What things? You have to define that. You have to define your life, not me. Because it's different for all of us. Some people everyone has a different calling in life. Some similar, but all different. We're all different. I want you to be you. There's no formula for that. The foundation for that is to build up your spiritual, mental, physical life, to keep healthy relationships. That's the foundation. Then the rest is going to be individually based on your specific life and what God has specifically put inside you. And not even your parents really know that. Not even people who've seen you in the most vulnerable place know that. Why? Because yes, someone may have seen you completely vulnerable, completely naked, completely stupid 6 months ago, but you're not the same person you were. We never stay the same. And people that live a resentful life, they try to stay the same just to keep other people comfortable. And they do it at their own peril. Because that tap dance game can only be played so long. There's a day of reckoning when you play that game. It's a dangerous game. Staying the same is a dangerous game. And we must keep growing. Even if we're alone. Every time you lose a fake friend, a real one pops up. Live your life in a manner of if 0 people subscribe, you're still going to be you. That's a freeing mindset. When if no one else is in the room, I am talking to myself. Try that. Try that. If no one else is paying attention to my life, I'm paying attention to my details, and I want to do things in a focused manner that matter to me, because it does matter. It does matter. Even when no one's watching, it matters. And what I've learned in life is everyone's always watching, to some extent, in speaking. But they only come out of the woodworks when you've gotten to a place of real greatness. At least in the world's terms of speaking. But the reality is, most of us, or most people, will never get into this place of whatever society deems great. And it doesn't fucking matter what society thinks great, because what society thinks is great, and the person they put on a pedestal today, they'll destroy tomorrow. You know, one day you'll walk into Jerusalem with palms on the ground and they'll say, Jose the highest, this is our Savior. And the next day they'll say, crucify him, I don't know this guy. That's what this world is. Don't let it make you cynical. Don't be negative. I'm not saying that. I'm trying to build your mindset up. And I'm building my own mindset. If nobody else in the room, I don't give a shit. I want to be the type of person where I'm growing, because I know that's where God wants me to be. And I know that there's a blessing there. And a blessing doesn't have to mean a pot of gold. A blessing means peace. A blessing means joy. A blessing means fulfillment. A blessing means I don't have to take a harmful thing to calm down my anxiety. A blessing means I don't have to eat something nasty just to put myself to sleep. A blessing means I'm willing for someone to not be my friend anymore. I'm willing for someone to say, I used to like this guy, I don't like this guy anymore. I'm okay with that. Now, this is growth. Lonely at the top? Yes. Misery at the bottom? Yes. Is anyone better than anyone? No. We're all sinners. I don't care how wise you get, I don't care how much you evolve, myself included, all of us. It's only by the grace of God. I'm saying that to put this conversation in context. This isn't about a race to be the best person. This is about a race against yourself. You understand what I'm saying? This isn't about a race against me versus Fanatic, me versus Bob Wells. That's not what I'm talking about. What I am talking about, this is a race for self-growth, for self-improvement, for being mature enough to say, I disagree with that. I like that, I disagree with that. I used to like this, I don't like this anymore. This is maturity. This is evolution. Many people you know now can't accept that. Once you start that path, they can't accept it, because it threatens their way of being. It threatens their mindset. God forbid someone has to change their daily routine of destructive habits. God forbid. They want you to fall off sometimes, not because they don't want the best for you, but because it'll take the pressure off them having to change. Hugo from Portugal, love and respect to you, brother. Love and respect. And Philip, I missed your comment. I found saying stuff out loud, not to anyone particular, helps. Amen. Self-expression helps. Amen, Philip. Hugo, hello everyone. Hugo, love and respect to you, brother. Love and respect. I hope that Portugal is going well. I'm so blessed to connect with people from around the world, positive people. That yes, we may not be connected 6 months from now. We may not. But for this moment, we're growing together. We're connecting. We're sharing. Guy Rex from Italy came in on my last live feed earlier today from the beach. JPM from South Carolina. It's Miss Kimberly from Houston, one of my first people that I've started connecting with, taught me how to read chat feeds. There's moments in time where you're connected with certain people all across the world. And then there's moments where those relationships fade. Is that bad? No, not all the time. We're connected for a season, for a reason. And anyone that loves you wants you to be free. And Hugo says, I live in Portugal, but I'm from Africa. Angola, to be specific. And used to live in South Africa, Cape Town, till last year. Well, you're well-traveled, brother. I'll tell you that. And travel brings good perspective to see different parts of the world or a country or wherever you want to be. Hugo, let me ask you this. What place most inspires you that you've been to, and where do you want to live? What's your dream? Where would you like to live? Where would you like to live? Everyone. Do you want to stay in the same spot you are now? Is that, and there's nothing wrong with that if you do. So I want to be honest about that. But I want to challenge you. Where do you want to be a year from now? Do you want to be in a different state? Do you want to be in a different house? Do you want to be in a car? Do you want to be in a mansion? Do you want to be in Portugal? Do you want to be in Cape Town? Do you want to be in Brazil? Do you want to be in Italy? Where do you want to be? All decisions go back to knowing yourself. And knowing yourself means you have to be a healthy self. And that doesn't happen with old relationships. That happens with evolving. An evolving self. That's what it happens with. Because you're not the same person you were when you were 15. You're not the same person you were when you were 25. You're not the same person you were when you were 45. You change, you grow, you evolve. And that's okay. That's okay. Well, I'm blessed for this time. Hugo. I don't think I want to be to a fixed location. Well, I think that's wisdom. I'm very similar. That's how I feel as a nomad. One of the definitions of a nomad, if you Google it, it has a couple. The newer one, the one I most relate to, says you're in a building process. And that's good. I've been there. So don't compare the part of the journey you're at to someone else's. There's that Instagram, Facebook thing that says don't compare your chapter 1 to somebody else's chapter 45. JPM Longcan says not in the desert with the laugh to the side emoji. Amen to that. Now, I had a viewer say that she likes the desert. So, again, I want you to be you. But I damn sure don't. I mean, I watched like, what's the other person? Carol Ann's RV Life or something. She's all right. But they're in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone service, no infrastructure. I mean, but again, I got to be fair to some people, that's inspirational to them. When I went to Vermont, I know myself. Let me share this. I don't want to judge them, but I do. All right. So, when I went to Vermont earlier this summer, and a friend of mine said, try this one. It's called Grout Pond. And it was a great recommendation. I'm glad I went up there. I'm glad he recommended it. It's a good friend, too. He's really been a blessing in my life. And I go there, and it's like Freddy Krueger town. As far as, like, you take an isolated road to get to, it's a beautiful, natural country land, hilly, mountainous area. You got to take all these side winding roads. I mean, there's no Starbucks anywhere. Not only is there no Starbucks, I mean, there's no cell phone service. So you think you're going to, like, Google MapQuest that shit? You're going to look at the star like, you're the Three Kings. Okay? And so I'm on this drive, and then everything gets scary. You turn off the music, you're driving, and it's the middle of the day because you don't know where the hell you're going. Then you finally get there. There's no running water. There's an outhouse. I mean, I'm not talking about like I'm not talking a porta-john either. I'm talking about like a fucking cabin with like some, just like where cow shit, outhouse. And then there's just like raw nature. Foxes jumping around and shit. I mean, when I saw that, I said, this ain't for me. Some people, I saw a guy there living out of his van. I was scared to shit of. It wasn't for me. But I know, like, my friend and other people, they love that. And so I don't want to disrespect them. But what I'm trying to tell you is all decisions are based on what you like. Some people don't like the East Coast. I mean, it's too crowded for them. I watch some YouTube guys. They say, I won't travel to the East Coast, too crowded. And I respect that. I damn sure ain't traveling in the middle of the desert. Too fucking isolated. So you see, I mean, that's what makes the world go round. So I'm not mad at that. But I'm developing this principle. that the beginning of all good decisions for you starts at knowing you. And part of getting to a good you is evolving past old relationships. You guys are killing it with the emojis. It's Miss Kimberly, give the desert emoji, then JPM Lone Care, 3 out laugh out loud emojis, and then the hands up. It's good. It's good. And so my friend makes me think I wanted to go back to the South Carolina story. So my friend from I want to stay down south. I finished a 10-day fasting a few days ago. Wait a minute, I fasted a lot of different times, Hugo. Thank you for sharing that, Hugo. I fasted a lot of different times. Yes, on my spiritual journey. That's what I was just going to say. Part of your spiritual journey is what Hugo's saying. That was the first step of me growing. When I got to my early 20s, mid 20s, I decided to separate myself from certain friends and invest in my spiritual life. That spiritual life started encouraging me to make different decisions. Aka, I fast every Ramadan. It's great for me. Amen. Thank you for sharing, Raka. And I also remember your comment from the other day. God bless you. And when I started my spiritual journey, I started changing my life. And then certain friends couldn't understand that. And I had to evolve past them. Now, that being said, what I also learned is there's an extreme evolving. You know, there's a Mace evolving where you will see the Lord, next minute, no, you're rapping crazy. There's a Loon evolving where, you go find Islam, and then you come back and you're selling drugs. I mean, so you don't want to get to too extreme a place where you evolved. Like, I evolved to Christianity, and it kind of, at one point, didn't get extreme, but I was around people that take it too far. And I grew up with a friend. He got into the Nation of Islam. He got into, practicing his Muslim beliefs. And then, he got with a bunch of people, same thing. And so you can go too far with your spiritual journey. I say all that to say with fasting and everything, because I've seen Christian, Muslim, I've seen a lot of different faiths take it too far. With fasting specifically. Like when I was like in the Catholic Church, it was like, oh, for Lent, for fasting for their Lent, give up like bubble gum, which like you don't really even think about. And then when I got like into the non-denominational game, they were like, well, we're not going to eat anything for like 40 days and 40 nights like Jesus. And then come to find out, like, you know what I mean? People fucking sneaking burgers on the side, not telling you. I mean, it's crazy. Just like, pastors telling you not to watch porn and they're committing adultery. And fasting, to be honest with you, as the scriptures say, at least in my belief system, everyone has a different belief system. I respect that. The New Testament says when you fast, you shouldn't tell anyone. You lose your blessing. When you fast, you should comb your hair, wash your face, and no one should ever know. And God rewards you. Said the same thing about prayer. Like I used to attack some of my Christian friends. They used to say, let's go to the park and hand out tracts and talk about Jesus. Whoa, I don't remember the scripture saying that. I remember the scripture saying, when you pray, go in your house. They were like praying on street corners and shit. I said, did scripture say you should pray in your house and nobody should ever know? Don't be a hypocrite, Jesus said. Don't let the left hand know what the right hand does. All your spiritual journeys should be for your self-development between you and God. That's my, and I don't fuck with a lot, and I evolved past a lot of spiritual people that taught me a lot of great things. A lot of the spiritual people in my life, they gave me a platform to speak, to express myself, to grow spiritually. So I evolved past street life. Then I evolved past the church life, and then I just became my own self. So that's what, this all goes back to this conversation. I want you to hear this. I want you to do whatever you want. There's a certain, you may be in a street life, then you're going to go into a church life for your spiritual growth, which you should. You should grow spiritually. I believe that having a relationship with God is key. However you want to define it, I don't want to define you. I want you to have free will, do whatever you want. Then you're going to get into a bunch of, around a lot of spiritual people, and you're going to see they're fucking out of control too. Some of them. A lot of them. And then you got to evolve past them and be a critical thinker. Nomadic Fanatic, he's pandering to the nomads out there. A lot of religious pastors and, you know what I mean? Other people of other religious leaders, I mean, they pander. They pander to control the people. Do you think, really, most people get, most decent, good people, they don't really get, they just want, look, don't hurt me, I don't hurt you, just do whatever the fuck you want. It's people that want to control you, that you have to work. Like, so, all right, I'm getting a little fired up now. So I remember being in my church game. So my friends didn't understand why I started doing certain things, changing my life, changing how I talk, not being reckless. Then I get into the church game heavy. Then I decide, well, some of these church cats, I'm not feeling them either. I'm getting disillusioned. And then I start disagreeing with how they interpret certain scriptures. And then all hell breaks loose. God forbid, like I don't believe in speaking tongues in public. God forbid you question one of your religious leaders for me in the Christian faith. And I said, look, I don't believe in how you, all the scriptures are up to your own interpretation. And you damn sure right that they are. Why do you think we have so many Christian denominations? Why do you think you have Sunni and Shia? Because there's different interpretations of the same exact thing. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to think for yourself. You have to think for yourself. And someone who doesn't preach that, I don't fuck with. I don't care what religion they are. Or if they have no religion, I don't fuck with them. You know, do what you want. I want people to be free. Black Death, love and respect to you, brother. JPM Lawn Care, thumbs up to that. Hell yeah. Because you guys see it too. I mean, you've been through it. I mean, you've been through this game. It's all a game. And all these religious people, why are they doing that? Because they want to control you. They want to control your money. They want to control your money. Same reason, the Nomad channels tap dance for you. They want you to keep them subscribing. I don't give a fuck if I go down to 0 subscribers. I don't even do it. I love connecting with people, but I do things for self-growth and for the long-term benefit of my being. Period. Whether it's MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, or this, or whatever it's going to be next. And that's again, what I'm going back to is a mindset. Respecting difference, but allowing yourself to be different than everyone else, even people within your same clique. Change your life, man. Change your life when you get this. Not easy, though. Because we get almost like, it was hard for me to get out of like a, and I don't want to say street mindset is like necessarily like I was killing people, but just a street mindset of that mentality. And then telling people I don't believe in doing certain things anymore. And then getting out of that mindset of, telling my pastor I don't believe with him about this. And I don't believe about, church people supporting political people and that whole fucking game that goes by. And I saw that too. I saw that with, I don't want to talk about. Oh, I saw that doing. It gets booted off. Hugo says, it's amazing to be awakened to know yourself truly. Yes. That's a relationship with God. If you believe that God lives inside you, not that you're above people, okay? But if you believe that God lives inside you, then to know yourself is to know God. Not putting yourself on a pedestal. It's not what I'm saying. I mean, come on. I'm trying to be very mature here. Knowing yourself is that freeing, inspirational spirit. And becoming yourself, refining yourself, is you sharing your God-given light. And by you that's you fulfilling your destiny. And then when it's time for us to go home, we go home. For me, this world damn sure ain't my home. I'm very thankful. I'm having a good time under palm trees. I'm blessed. I'm thankful. But I know how this world is. I know nothing in this world stays the same. And I don't do things with the love of this world mindset. I'm thankful for this world. I believe in engaging society. I believe in standing up for rights and treating people equally. So I'm not one of these people that check out of society, because it damn sure matters to get your voice engaged in society and to stand up and to speak on things you disagree with and to be a positive voice. But I do so not because I want to live in this world forever. I do so because I want to live my life in a full manner while I'm here. I want to make it better for other people as well, and I want to leave a positive impact. And that's important. And thank God for the people that did that before me, that didn't buy into this other way of thinking. All great people of true inspiration. They've always been willing to not have a mentality of everyone else. And that's important, not in an isolationist manner, because there's certainly people throughout history that have used a different way of society thinking as a seduction to cause people to do bad things for their own personal gain. Again, motive is everything. If someone is trying to encourage you to do something, but their motive is wrong, then everything is wrong. Free yourself and start with unhealthy relationships. Start there. That's not a huge thing. I mean, it's a huge thing, but it's not, you don't have, that's not a super intelligent thing like you need to study for 20 years. Healthy relationships in your family, in your personal, intimate relationships, friendships. I mean, look right there. Even in the church game, whatever spirituality that you like and that you follow, just be careful. Because again, no one knows you like you. I don't care if you went to high school with somebody. I don't care if you went to the same church as somebody. I don't care if you go to the same mosque as somebody. No one knows you like you. And that personal relationship with God, that personal relationship with yourself, is an intimate thing that only you can nourish. My circle says be you. It doesn't say be you if you do X, Y, Z. It says be you, period. That's it. But be a healthy you. Be the best you. And I believe even if you have no spirituality. I mean, I believe in mind, body, soul, so I preach that, I live that. But I know I've connected with other people that are atheists. And so I do believe in my spirit that if someone is developing themselves, that there'll be a level of spirituality there. Even if they don't, have to claim a certain religion, or even if they don't have to. I believe as you get in touch with yourself and as you heal yourself, there's a spiritual quality to that. And I want to encourage people to do that. Why? Because I am at a comfortable point in my journey where I don't need to force feed somebody my belief system. I like to give what I have personally done. I share that boldly. And then I like to give freedom to other people to build and define their own life in a healthy, positive manner. That's love. I mean, that's love. I mean, that's what I believe. God's love. I mean, come on. What else is that? And any relationship you have should also give you that love, that freedom, that grace. And if they don't, evolve. Be willing to say, hey, you changed. You didn't always used to think like this. And I remember I remember how my life used to be when I didn't always used to think like this. Used to be in the clubs, unhappy. Used to be in the church, getting disillusioned by people preying on donations. Not all bad times in the club, not all bad times in the church. I want to be fair. There's a car pulling up in the back. We can always keep an eye on your six. When you live in that nomad life, look at this shit. You better always keep an eye on your six, B. That's that nomad life, but he just living his life. But that's that real talk. Always be yourself. Evolve. I'm keeping one eye open. All right, this is an old guy. It's an old guy. No heat net. Yeah, you need it. But that's that real life. I mean, this is live. Bob Wells ain't broadcasting live from Arizona talking about real shit and then having somebody pull up behind him. Okay. I love Bob Wells. I love Bob Wells. Come on. I love Bob Wells. I love Nomadic Fanatic too. I love everybody. But I don't want to be everybody. I want to be myself. And I'm thankful. Let me get back to a couple comments and then we'll see what we got. I got to hit up Publix. Okay, and I got to get some tofu and salad before I call it night. JPM Lunk here. My life was changed when I was baptized 7 years ago. He opened my eyes, amen. I am not even close to perfect in my walk. Nothing wrong with that. But I swear the path has never been clearer since that day. Amen. Well, I grew up Catholic, and as a Catholic Christian, what happens is you get baptized when you're a baby. They take you like as a little baby infant, they put a little water on your head, they say a prayer, and they baptize you. That's considered a baptism. I thank God for that. I do believe in a spiritual foundation. I believe in Jesus. And I thank God that my parents planted that seed. But at the same time, then as I begin to grow and mature, my dad was like a little bit of a prick. And I didn't agree with everything my mom did. And I said, well, do I want to believe in this faith or do I want to figure out my own faith? And so I started to study the Bible. I started to study other faiths and other spiritual literature. And then as I got into the non-denominational Christian game, I said, well, I put a demand on my pastor. They weren't doing that. I said, I want to be baptized. I said, because when I was a child, I was baptized because it was a ritual. But I want to consciously, as an adult, dedicate myself to the Lord. And so my mom didn't understand. She goes, Sam, this is a little fucking freaky for me. Because, we grew up Italian Catholic. That's how it was. Non-denominational and like people speaking in tongues, a little wild in the church. That was a whole different story. Growing up in the northeast of America where I grew up, it's all relative, I guess, to where you grow up. So, I got a little bit of resistance there, but I knew for my spiritual journey, I needed to get baptized again. So I evolved. I let myself do it. Then, like I said, when I got real deep into the ministry, I saw a lot of rigid religious people. And they didn't change the core of their being. They went on their spiritual journey, but the core was unhealthy. They weren't taking care of the other things, and there was a religion masking the heart of the scriptures. And so I didn't try to bring down the church. I said, I got to evolve past this. I just let them go. I got to use what I learned here, just like I used what I learned in the Catholic Church. Then I built on that in the non-denominational. And then I took that and I said, I got it from here. Jay-Z's got a song that, when his pop passed, said, I got it from here, Pops. At a certain point, you have to get it. You have to get built up, and then you have to take your own path. Then you have to feed yourself. And then you got to start learning about critical thinking. Very important part of that journey. Not the beginning part. You got to get built up. So that's what it sounds like for you, JPM Lawn Care. I don't want to define yourself, but that's what it sounds to me as you're sharing. You were hurt, like I was hurt. You needed to find healing and guidance, and you found that. And now you're on that self-development healing process. And that will evolve over time. Don't pledge blind loyalty to anyone, including your church. Don't pledge blind loyalty to the same person who baptized you. Because if someone really baptized you or whatever spiritual ritual they performed on you, if it was for any other motive than to set you free and to help you be yourself, it was a deceptive. You don't owe anyone in this world blind loyalty. And anyone who demands blind loyalty, get away from them fast. Okay? Blind loyalty is a dangerous thing, very dangerous. Why? Because it demands that you can't think for yourself. I grew up with a girl. She got caught in a drug game. Her boyfriend stood up for her, took the rap, and she pledged him basically blind loyalty and destroyed her life for it. She probably would have been better off serving time and just thinking for herself. Even if someone does you a favor, if they do a favor, then God bless them. May God bless them for it. But you can't be a person that pledges blind loyalty. It doesn't. It's a bad thing. It'll hurt you, and it will hurt you, period. Hugo, I'm looking forward to car living next year. Amen, brother. Hugo, cuddles to being vegetarian and vegan as well. Amen. A plant-based diet changed my life. Once in a while, do I have, not much anymore. I overeat a little bit on the health bars, but I really don't have any meat products anymore. Fish, pescatarian. But overall, plant-based diet is wisdom. Okay? Wisdom for your health. Powerful. Hugo, and if you can't think for yourself, that's one of the worst things that can happen. It is the worst thing that can happen, because then you've joined a cult. Doesn't matter if it's a religious cult or a nomad cult. Doesn't matter. When you get to a point where you don't start critically thinking for yourself, you're a blind follower, and that's dangerous. You'll end up drinking the Kool-Aid. What does that mean? Drinking the Kool-Aid goes back to a pastor, and think from the 70s, called Jim Jones. And he got everyone all fired up about their spiritual life, had them go down to South America, I believe Guyana, form their own community, and when they wanted to leave and think for themselves, he committed mass suicide and he poisoned his own people with Kool-Aid laced with poison. And those who wouldn't drink the Kool-Aid, he shot in the back of the head. Dangerous not to think for yourself. Dangerous. Whew. And that's spiritual stuff. I mean, that's that religious game when it goes too crazy. So I want you to fast. I want you to do all these different things that are your spiritual exercises, but I want you to be very careful out there, okay? I got dangerously close to seeing that extremism. It's very nasty. Very nasty. The blind can't lead the blind, man. You got to be careful. And so, if anyone has anything to share, I want to give a couple minutes. Just before dawn, George is in the building. I saw the Jim Jones documentary on YouTube. Oh, scary. The dude was nuts. He was nuts. He was nuts. He started off with somewhat reasonable sermons, and it got very dangerous. People gave up their jobs, gave up their financial freedom, pledged to the church, and then went down to South America. You see a pattern? Give up your job. Come live on free land. We'll teach you how to do it. It's fucking dangerous, B. To not think for yourself, to give up your job, to give up your and to leave society is fucking dangerous. Yeah, 3 emoji deserts for It's Miss Kimberly, damn right. Hit me with an exclamation mark, It's Miss Kimberly, because I'm trying to tell you something. I don't think it's going to that point, but I get very concerned when I see someone building a mindset of isolation, of not teaching people resources for self-development rather than for just raw survival. Thank you, it's Miss Kimberly, and I see you, Trend News. I'm going to read you in a minute. Thank you, it's Miss Kimberly. There is a time for raw survival. But I want to be fucking very clear, especially, I mean, if you're living in America or any other, modern society. There's no need for raw survival, okay? No need. All right? You don't need to fucking go hunt a deer and fucking drag them back in the middle of the desert, okay? There's fucking Publix and fucking ShopRites everywhere, B, okay? And there's tofu there. You don't need to eat meat. Next is you aren't meant to just live in a van and turn over from side to side. You're not. You may be meant to live in a van, but you're not meant to exist. You are meant to grow, to evolve. Existing and evolving and growing are two separate things. I mean, I'm talking about completely separate. You got to be careful there. Trend News, love and respect to Canada. It's too cold for me though. Hey Sam, listen to your other videos today. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. What can I say, bro? I agree 100%. Relationship with Jesus. Thank you, brother. I mean, I also was brought up Catholic, same ways. Thank you for sharing, Trend News. I was brought up Catholic, same thing, got into the born again game. I thank God for that. Now I believe in Jesus as my Savior, but I also, show respect and love to the Muslim friends I grew up with, to the atheist friends that I have, I have a lot of Hindu friends too. Hinduism is really the third biggest religion. So I don't want to forget my Indian brothers and sisters, because especially in Northeast, there's a lot of Indian people, a lot of Indian migration, and there's a lot of Hinduism, and so that's an underestimated faith too. So, but I believe in Jesus, and I believe the essence of the scriptures, man. I mean, it's just all summed up in, man. Love God, love yourself, treat others as you want to be treated, and that's it. That's it. It comes down to that. I mean, there's other stuff, but don't overcomplicate life. Just like we talk about in society, you watch this channel for a reason. Like, don't overcomplicate your life with materialistic shit. I mean, don't overcomplicate your spiritual life with religious shit. I mean, Spiritual growth and a certain season of building up information and researching and cross-referencing and getting really into it is needed. Then what you need to do is be free of a religious dogma, okay? And when you have fully found your faith, no other faith threatens you, no lack of faith threatens you, because you realize the whole reason for God giving you faith is so that you can live your life to its fullest. And when you live your life your best self, you're the biggest billboard in the world for whatever faith you want to, promote. An asshole promoting something, it's like fucking, powerful. Bless you, Trend News, for sharing. I look forward, brother, to chopping up with you one day in Florida. Love and respect to you, Trend News. Love and respect. It's Miss Kimberly. She gave 3 laugh to the sides emoji, and I think that's a fucking lizard and some wild ass animals. I agree. Yeah, because I was talking about hunting. Philip, I know a guy who blindly follows the people at his church. Very dangerous. Very dangerous. All religions have it. Not gonna mention the name of the denomination, but it's the fanatical type, the Jim Jones type. Amen. I was watching a guy, I still watch him. I watch his live feed on Periscope. Dr. Mike Murdoch. He's a Christian guy. Damn guy's radical as hell sometimes. And he loves Trump. He loves Trump. And I think, and he's always talking about giving a seed. Now he's got a lot of wisdom. But he's always pumping people for money. And I think he has some sexual sins. And I don't fully trust him. Now I listen to some of the shit he says. And he panders a little bit. I don't fuck with him like that. But I get some information. I listen I watch tonight. When I go and I find my spot, I'm gonna sleep. I'm going to put my headphones in. I'm going to watch this live stream. It's probably not going to be live at that time. Time I get to it, probably be the pre-recorded thing when Mom plays. And I'll listen to it. But I don't fuck with him 100%. Excuse me. That's a phone call. But I don't fuck with him 100%. He's a radical guy. A little bit. And I don't agree with him 100%. I like some shit he says. I don't agree with him 100%. He was the same guy that pumped Push. I mean, you gotta be careful. I don't want to get too excited. I gotta get going soon too. Sailing John, hey Sam, just arrived. Hey brother, thank you for you checking in today. Philip, I have no problems with religion, but people are nuts. Yeah, overall, people aren't nuts. People are struggling to get a hold of their life. It's what I call a tornado of pain. This world's harsh. I mean, I am blessed. I am thankful. If you live in a modern society, you're blessed. You're thankful. We have people from all over the world. So it's all but I mean, if you're fucking watching YouTube, you're not in you're not in the desert with no fucking cell service, okay? It's Miss Kimberly. Give me 3 emojis with no cell phone service emoji. I can't believe they're fucking in the desert with no cell phone. How can you watch YouTube? All those assholes over there, and there's a lot of them out there. They go, what are they gonna do? They're gonna all go to Walmart at lunch break and then go upload their videos? All right, let me get off that. What I'm trying to tell you, people out there are hurting. I feel the hurt. I mean, I have friends I talk to people. I hear the hurt, and I know sometimes people get upset with me, not because they don't like me, not because they don't love me. But sometimes I'm so passionate, I'm so inspired about life, and they're not. Thank you, Miss Kimberly. Thank you. I see you too, Hugo. And I see, I have a conversation. I'm passionate. I'm excited about life because I'm living light. I'm happy. I'm excited. Not all the time. Sometimes I go through pain. But I talk to some of my friends, and it's too much passion for them. It's too much excitement. They're not happy, and they get put off by that. I have to evolve past that. You'll know too who you're meant to be around. When you get excited and you're passionate, you'll hear a tone in someone's voice, and it's not happy for you. It's not that they're not happy for you, but they're not happy for themselves, and they can't muster off they're just upset with their own life. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. I want you to be an observer, not a judger. A person who observes can say, look, most people are miserable. And for me not to be miserable, I have to be willing to evolve past that. Past those people, past those habits. without judging them, but with observing them. You understand what I'm saying? Philip, hashtag Walmart the desert. Phew. God bless you, Willip. I've seen it through emojis too. Thank you, Philip. It's Miss Kimberly. I wonder if some of those desert people watch your videos. I don't know. And now I feel like a little bit I'm going too far with the bashing. I don't want to do that. That's not right. I have to apologize because it's not fair for me to bash someone else's way of living. And I try to straddle that line because I disagree with some shit I see. But I also want to exercise humility and say, look, I'm disagreeing with some of the message that they're preaching, but I am not disagreeing with them living in a desert if that's what makes them happy and they're doing it respectfully and peacefully. And so I have to be careful because I don't want to get too prideful where I'm not being fair and just and loving. I disagree that they don't kind of teach a mind, body, and soul. I disagree with some of the fundraising I see. I disagree with some of the pandering. But I don't disagree with anyone who says, look, I want to live in a desert. I want to live on raw land, and that's what inspires me. I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm about, okay? So I got to be fair. You understand what I'm saying? Sailing. They are all stuck in a rat race, work, pay out. Yes, and I've been stuck in that rat race. So that's what I want to share is that we all been there, okay? And we all get out of it in a little bit of a different way. There may be similar ways, but knowing yourself is the first step to getting out of that cycle. And then when you know yourself and you have to go to the Christmas table this year and be willing to not eat the same traditional foods you ate for generations because you may feel it's not healthy anymore. God forbid you go to the table and all the generations before you ate spaghetti and meatballs, and you did for 25 years. And you go to that table and you say, you know what, I don't want spaghetti and meatballs anymore. I want a salad and tofu. What the fuck? That's the reaction you're going to get. And that's what I'm talking about. You have to be willing to evolve past that. That's powerful. Powerful. Philip, I want to move to the desert now. Law, pull a Survivor Man, then post it on YouTube, but never explain how I do it. Yeah, it's wild. And again, to be fair, I want to draw back. I hear you, Philip. That Bob Wells, other people, they've taught good things. I watch some of them, so I can't be a hypocrite. Again, in context, some information I get has been a blessing. Bob Wells has ignited this mobile movement, which I have to be thankful for. My pastor taught me great spiritual gifts and gave me opportunity I have to be thankful for. So you see how I'm honoring the blessing that they've given to me and to us and to whatever person in your life it applies. But then I'm also saying there got to a certain point in that relationship with my pastor, there got to a certain point in that relationship with me and the YouTube people that once inspired me that I evolved past that. There may come a point for that with you, with me. I mean, I give freedom for that. I'm just saying that's part of the journey. There's necessarily not a right or wrong, but there's an evolution of growth. And that's a separation of sometimes people that once really did it for you. And that's a little bit hard. Praise the Lord. It's Miss Kimberly. Now I wonder if Bob Wells watches your videos. That's all right. That's all right. I'm thankful it's Miss Kimberly watches. I'm thankful Hugo. I'm thankful Sailing John. I'm thankful for JPM, Alco. Thankful for Philip. Thankful for Just Before Dawn. He said, I realized that I don't like watching many of the Van Dwellers on YouTube because they depress me. Thankful for Trend News. I'm thankful for the people for this season that are in my life. I want you to go in peace. I want you to be your best self. I want you to think for yourself. And I want you to be yourself. Stay inspired.